Are AEW talents worried about losing their spots? We'll get to that in a moment. Plus, WWE are planning a major gimmick match in Saudi Arabia, and we have an update on an injured SmackDown star in the wrestling news right now. Are AEW talent worried about losing their spots on the card? This is a bit of an all-elite elephant in the room. That's been floating around for a while. How an elephant floats, I don't quite know. Just go with it. There have been a lot of major signings to AEW, and the roster is quite busy. And one person who weighed in on this is ROH ambassador Kari Silkin, and he spoke to Wrestling Inc. Daily. Did Silkin, because he recently paid a visit to AEW, got to go backstage, and here's some of the observations he made. He said, quote, "There are so many guys in AEW. I'm not going to bring up any names, but there were guys that were flown in to the show he went to do nothing. It was a very good vibe, but since I've been around the back for 20 years, wrestlers are always unconfident, worried about their spots. I could feel that going on. Certainly not with a Bryan Danielson or a Hangman Page, but there's just a lot of people there." And I think that's a really valid point. We made similar comments when WWE were going on a spending spree a few years ago, and it's only right that we address the same thing with AEW and say that that is a busy roster they have currently.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you think of like Andrade and people like that, and we don't often see them on TV, you know, but one thing I think I will praise AEW for is that they're kind of like their storylines and stuff, they have some form of rotating roster in that people do, you know, like once a feud finishes, usually someone else does roll in, and those feuds don't necessarily last super long either. Say like someone like CM Punk, you know, they have feuds for a month or two, and then someone else comes in. So it's nice to see that kind of revolving door. But however, then the argument is there is so many people that no matter, even if stuff is revolving constantly, there's still not enough time for everybody to get their spot. And that is really, it's really sad for a lot of people who obviously, you know, they might have moved from WWE or another company to come and wrestle when they might not have been able to do so beforehand or get so much TV time. And it's really sad to see. And it's the same kind, you know, we have things like Dark and Dark Elevation as we've spoken about before. But even then, not everybody gets their time to shine because there is so many people. So it's a bit, I
hear what you're saying, though. I do, in the sense that it's a balancing act for all parties, and I think that the one thing that doesn't play well into this is the mass releases, and there's never anything good that comes from mass releases in any company. But with WWE, them sacking off like these bulks of great people. It's like that scene from Monty Python and the Meaning of Life with Mr. Creosote, and Vince McMahon is offering a wafer thin mint to Tony Khan in the shape of more wrestlers. He's like, I'm full, and that's what you're up against. Is certainly, and I get the frustration whereby you have got this incredibly talented roster, but yet every month, like all these excellent wrestlers suddenly hit the independent market, and you're like, oh, I just wanna. I'll take a Keith Lee. All right, while I'm here, I'll have a Keith Lee. While I'm here, I'll have them. So it's a balancing act. We could do with. I know how a couple of years ago we said what we could do with is another billionaire in the wrestling industry who loves wrestling. We could probably do with two now.
Just to level the playing field a little bit. But you know, again, I guess obviously now we've got things like GCW and stuff as well, and I guess necessarily not every single wrestler needs to be snatched up. And, you know, we kind of, it's one of those things, isn't it, as well, where, you know, so say, for example, like Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish get released, and then we think about, oh, what about like an Elite and Undisputed Era feud? And I guess we're kind of only thinking singular, like tunnel vision, that one thing. And then you have to sort of think about more after the fact that is finished too. And those storylines are very tantalizing to anybody, to us as fans, and to obviously like Tony Khan and people as well. But I think there's got to be some sort of grander vision for everybody if you are going to bring them in.
WWE's grand vision going into February apparently revolves around the Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia. So this comes from Fightful today, who say, as of now, the working plan is for the Elimination Chamber match to take place at February's Saudi Arabia show. Tentative preparations for the chamber to take place in Saudi Arabia have been going on since their last show there in November. There was also discussion of possibly taping an episode of WWE TV in the future in Saudi Arabia. That has hardly been confirmed yet, according to Sean Fightful from rossap.com. Thank you for that. The chamber in Saudi Arabia, I think it seems, if they're doing a show in February, I think that's kind of, this is what more of what we said last time we were together talking about Saudi Arabia, Andrew, in that these Saudi Arabia shows are now more canon than they ever were.
Yeah, definitely. And they seem to be getting grander and grander as well. Obviously, last time we saw Seth Rollins and Edge in a Hell in a Cell. It looks like we're kind of still heading in that sort of direction. And obviously, with the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, usually around this time in February, I wonder if this is obviously now, this is going to be it, rather than having perhaps a full-blown pay-per-view to do with that. And I quite like that idea as well. I don't necessarily think we need the gimmicked pay-per-view things anymore, like your TLCs and your Hell in a Cells. I think it's more special when an Elimination Chamber or a Hell in a Cell or a TLC match just gets announced for a pay-per-view rather than a whole pay-per-view being shaped around that, and then only having a few, if one of those matches on that card just seems a bit strange. So I'm all down for this. I'm excited to see what they do, because this Saudi shows, they often pull out surprises. And I think, I kind of hope they do continue down that route, because I think beforehand, when that happened, the surprises were the things that weren't necessarily always canon. They'd always get changed like the next night or something. So I mean, I am excited to see where this goes and what happens. So yeah.
You say that it won't be a show named and carried wholesale on the Elimination Chamber. I still think it will be. I still think it will be in the same vein as normal. But
yeah.
But hear me out, right? Greatest Elimination Chamber. It's twice the size. It takes up 2 rings, and there's 12 competitors in
36
chambers.
Pods.
One of them's the Ultimate Warrior. One of them's Yokozuna. One of them is the others that aren't wrestling anymore. Let's. And then one could be Titus O'Neil. He can come out the chamber.
Nice.
I don't know, clip through the ring like in 2K20. That'd be a dream. So Elimination Chamber in some way, shape and or form. Looking like it's going to be in Saudi Arabia next month. Thank you to Fightful for that one. We'll end on an update on a SmackDown Star. That injury list on SmackDown looking pretty bleak at the moment. Drew McIntyre, Sasha Banks, Shinsuke Nakamura, King Woods added to it, as you heard in the video earlier today. Rich Holland suffered an injury at WWE Day 1, and he gave us an update on his broken nose on El Brunch to WWE, which is the WWE Espanol show. He was asked how he's doing after breaking his nose, and he said, "I feel good. I took a bit of a knock thanks to a ricochet, but the surgery was very good. The nose is fixed. I'm just waiting to heal fully now, so we're good." So he shouldn't be too long before he gets back into the ring. He also revealed what Sheamus had said to him. He said, quote, "It's quite ironic that he broke his nose twice, and then me, looking up to Sheamus, I end up breaking mine. Sheamus said, I know you look up to me, but you didn't have to break your face as well, you know. He's given me some advice. He says, just rest up, and once the nose is healed, we can get back to our regularly scheduled program." So we'll continue the Yorkshire story of Ridge Holland. I don't suppose you were in the same pub that Ridge Holland was in the night that Sheamus won the Royal Rumble, because
no, in
it was wild in Liversidge. Apparently, it was wild in there.
We heard the stories all the way in Skipton, Tom. It was oof. We thought it was but a myth, but no, he confirmed it. You know, he confirmed it in that promo.
It's the thing. It is a thing. I'm looking to put on a WWE quiz at a pub in Liversidge, because apparently there's a market for it. According to Ridge Holland. They love a bit of wrestling in Liversidge. Make that a thing. Ridge back very, very soon. Andrew back later on Twitch.
Yes, yeah, it's been a while. First Friday stream of 2022. We're going to be playing some more Doki Doki Literature Club, getting through that wonderful game that's definitely not full of horrible things. And that is at twitch.tv/Cultaholic at 6 p.m.
Did a little rude thing pop up in the last one?
No, that was me searching for something. And on Pixabay, just like a regular public site where you get not licensed, like free pictures that you can just download, like they're not licensed or anything. You can just download them. And I typed in something to find a specific photo, and some breets came up. So
not a naughty pair of breets.
A naughty pair of breets.
No breets tonight. Only meats. From
Whoa,
Andrew.
Careful now. Don't be promising them anything.
Gonna go for a lie down thinking on that. Twitch.tv/Cultaholic with Andrew tonight from 6 p.m. GMT.
That's the one.
Excellent. Keys.
I love you. Bye.